Hey, Pastor Art here. I saw a friend of mine did this on the internet, and so I thought I'd do the same thing. Maybe you need a COVID-19 reading list. Here's some of my favorite ones on my counter here at the office. But looking over here, this little booklet called "The Freedom of Self-Forgetfulness: The Path to True Christian Joy." Man, I tell you what, this is one of the most remarkable things on just developing humility that you can read. This is a must read. It's like 72 pages. It's fantastic. I really love it. If you're in ministry, just a good reminder, Dangerous Calling by Paul David Tripp is really great. I think I could have avoided a lot of mistakes if I had read that earlier in the year in my ministry. Anything by Jim Cymbala, but in particular, I just reviewed Storm recently, which is relying on the power of the Holy Spirit to do your ministry and to do work. So for those in ministry, Storm is so fantastic. And then Fresh Wind, Fresh Fire, just anybody. Again, he's really big on a reliance on the power and the working of the Holy Spirit, which is really appropriate since we're in the book of Acts right now. Going through people struggling with addictions of any kind, which is all of us pretty much. Goliath Must Fall by Louis Giglio is pretty good. Marriage, man, I tell you what, the divorce rate in China has gone through the roof because of self-quarantining. People home together all the time. Why not invest in your marriage? We got a bunch of these sacred marriages. Just swing by the church. They're $10. We have a bunch of them. If you can't afford it, don't worry, just grab one. We'll tell you how to grab one if you need one. This book by Chip Ingram called The Real God is really fantastic. We might do a series one day on it. Chip Ingram said at the end of his life, he's not dead yet, but he said, man, this is the summary of his ministry and what he wants to be his legacy. It's fantastic. The Spirit of the Rainforest is maybe out of print. It is one of the most remarkable looks into the world of the spirit realm in the tribal areas in the Amazon. So Mark Andrew Ritchie wrote it, and he basically interviewed a whole bunch of people who had no contact with the Nabu, the white man, until like the 60s or 70s or something like that, and how their lives changed. Bait of Satan is good for those who can't seem to let go of a grudge or an issue that maybe somebody has with someone else, which we all fall into that trap. Love Does is a quick, easy read on just learning to love other people really well. Bob Goff is so entertaining and so good to hear. Man, this is a must read. I have an extra copy, it looks like, if anybody wants one. This is fantastic. Just getting your eyes focused on Jesus and our eternal destination. It was transforming in my life. Old Paths, New Power, Daniel Henderson, one of his best books, obviously next to Transforming Prayer right there, but man, I really recommend that. Mere Christianity, of course. Let's go through here. Don't Waste Your Life. I do have an extra copy of this, but man, I tell you what, this book was really seminal in helping me move towards greater and greater roles in ministry, making my life count for something. And then this one I've read 3 times, The Reason for God by Tim Keller. This is actually a must read as well. Unfortunately, it's kind of like he explains it, you're like, oh, I understand it. And then you try to explain it to someone else and you're like, oh, I don't understand it. Radical by David Platt, again, along those same lines of making your life count for something. And that's the potential books for today.